Hello, and welcome to the Tony McClellan Show. Wherever you are, welcome. I'm so pleased to be here every single week, talking about social impact, justice, mobility, or a message out there for social entrepreneurs. And this week, it could be for social entrepreneurs, it could be for individuals, because we're talking about purpose. And who better to talk about purpose with than with my good friend Garry Turner, who's been here lots of times before.
Good afternoon, morning, evening. Thanks for welcoming me back again, Tony.
How are you? I'm
really excited because we just had a really quick conversation and I was just like, oh my God, I've not looked at my purpose in a short while. And it's like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm really excited.
I know. So if you are here, and I know a few of you are actually watching, then drop in a message or in the comments and just let us know, and I can give you a live shout out. Get those questions ready for us. We are here for just 30 minutes. And today we're talking about purpose. And I'm hoping that today's exploration and, it's going to help you to trigger some thinking or some reflection. And that's really what Garry and I are hoping to do in this 30 minutes here, because we've gone through some things to figure our own purposes out, haven't we, Garry?
A lot.
So why don't you tell people who you are, and let's kick off.
Lovely. Thank you, Tony. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Great to be with you all again. So my name's Garry Turner. I self-identify as a possibility expander. Why is that? Because I work at the intersection of international sales, people and culture, equity, inclusion, and sustainability. So there we are, Tony.
There you are. And what a great purpose. Well, you're going to tell us a little bit more about that in a moment. And those of you that are here every single week, you will know that I am a champion of compassion, DEIB, and I use those two areas in sustaining and embedding change within organizations and people. So it's really, really useful to know where people are in their own journeys as well. And we've got Marcia here from Washington, DC. Thank you so much, Marcia. We're always having those conversations, and welcome. Get that question ready. So where do we start? Well, I think the thing about purpose is asking that question: what is your reason? What's the reason for your existence? Why are you here? So I'm going to ask you, every single one of you, you may not want to put it in the comments, but certainly do think about it. Why are you here? What is the reason for your existence? And I can see Gary's mulling over that one. So I'm going to come back to you in a moment to share with us, Garry. And what are you trying to achieve? And sometimes other people can see it, but we can't. Sometimes we can't recognize it. We have to look internally first. We're so outward looking, outward facing, that there needs to be time to look inwards and really take that reflection, which is something that I've done. So I don't know if you want to come in here, Garry Turner, and share on the reason for your existence today.
I love it when you go light and fluffy, Tony.
Why are you here? Why are you here on this earth?
Do you know, I just want to come back to something you shared, though, because I think it's so critically important, is that I was, and so many of us are conditioned to look outside of ourselves for that purpose. And it took me 35 years. It took me having the car, the salary, the job, everything the outside world conditioned me matters before I started that inner journey 10 years ago, Tony. So I just really want to hold space for that critical insight you shared. So why am I here? I believe I'm here, and I'm still working it out a bit, but I do know that I'm here to help create conditions for groups and individuals that allow them to reconnect to themselves, reconnect to others, and most importantly, reconnect to the systems that sustain us. They're the 3 layers of my purpose, Tony.
Good. And we're going to delve into that in just a moment, Garry. But I want to share with you right now that Marcia has said her purpose is to be the server of people. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to push you for a little bit more information on that. You know that you're not going to get away lightly from me. We've got Melody from Massachusetts joining us, and we've also got Anima, who has said she's glad that she has popped onto LinkedIn. So thank you so much, Anima. Do join the discussion, because it's not just a conversation between Garry and I. We want to make sure that we feed your contributions in as well. Okay, and I'm going to share that David, thank you so much, David from Cheshire. Why am I here? To improve the lives of people in care, especially the elderly. My behaviours are driven by childhood trauma and a subsequent drive to ensure that people are protected. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing, David from Cheshire. And do pop those contributions in, because some of my purpose has been there from I was young as well, Garry. And you, at the time, obviously you're young, you just don't realise, but some of mine was there. And what we've got, this is Naomi. Good day. Great to see Tony and Garry. Love to learn, why are you on this earth? Yes, Garry. Why are you on this earth? Well, he's just explained a little bit, but maybe that's the prompt to go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and thank you for that invitation. And may I just say, David, again, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for that share. And yeah,
I'm going to come back to David's share.
You are taking me deeper again. I tell you why, Tony, because the drive, and I forget about this, right? The drive for what I shared around reconnecting to ourselves, others, and systems is because I was so disconnected to myself, others, and systems for so long in my life. Why? Adolescent bullying. I was beaten up consistently and persistently by a group of boys aged 12, 13. And I didn't have the emotional literacy. I didn't know how to ask for help right the way through till I was 35. So yeah, those early stage experiences are very, very important.
Thank you so much. And we've got Melody saying that she's here. I'm here to share the healing energy of love, light, and hope. I absolutely love that too, Melody. I love everything that you stand for and represent. Thank you so much for sharing. We've got Ashwarya. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And we've got a couple of others that have said a brief visit from work. So we've got Paul that's saying he's here. And we've got Ekwo connecting from Nigeria. Contaseo is here to learn and lead by example and make a difference in people's life. So that's really great. Thank you, so many of you, for joining us now. If you have any more detail around your purpose, do share with us. So for me, Garry, thank you for sharing that. And I think that it's triggered by what David has said as well. And your experience of being bullied and disconnected, has kind of been embedded within your purpose. And I think what I'm going to contribute at this moment is from earlier childhood experiences of people will have heard me talk about being a middle child. You would have thought I was traumatized by it, but I'm not at all traumatized by it. I'm just a bit of a drama queen and making it into something, because it is actually part of my story. Being a middle child, it meant that my voice wasn't heard as much as the younger sister or the older sister. So for me, it meant I needed to speak up. And so there was something around diversity and inclusion and being compassionate within that. Having a birthday around Christmas time meant, again, that there was an opportunity for me to be hidden. So while the universe is trying to hide me, in the middle and at Christmas being born, the more I'm fighting against the universe to say, I'm here and I'm going to shout about it. So for me, I think that those things have really embedded for me to want to speak out and encourage others to speak out and encourage those with birthdays at Christmas or this time to recognize that they are somebody too. So I think that plays a part. So that's my contribution at the moment. So what else have we got? We've got Paul that is saying, at least being bullied didn't turn you into being a bully as an adult. But I think you have to be conscious of that as well, don't you?
Very, very much so. And I think one of the big things, if I may add, Tony, quickly, is forgiveness. One of my biggest learnings the last 10 years has been forgiving that bully, knowing that they would never do that if they felt okay themselves.
Okay, so that's really great. And we've got Naomi saying, wow, what an excellent opportunity. Tony, no problem. And, so we've also got Paul that's saying my late dad's birthday was the 30th of December, always forgotten except by one son, me, and my late mum. And there you go. And we don't really know the impact that it has on these others. And also Naomi saying that you turned it around. Yes, turned it around. The other part of my purpose, and I'm going to kind of piece all these pieces together soon, was about the fact that when I was younger, one of my early childhood sweethearts, he used to put so much faith into me in terms of I'd be faced with these impossible scenarios. And it's like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. And because I didn't want to disappoint anyone, I would always do it. So part of that younger learning was about anything is possible. Hey, and I grew up like that. Absolutely anything is possible. And the older I get, the more I believe that when I see spaceships going up, do you know what I mean? And all these incredible things happening in the world, I just think that anything is possible. And so that feeds into my change piece as well, that if we want change, it can happen. So that's a little bit there from me. Feel free to chip in, Garry.
What can I add to that, Tony?
Toe here, come on.
But that possibility, though, is important, right? I think regardless of where we think our purpose comes from, coming from a place of imagination and possibility is so critical. So critical.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you, so your desire to create change as well, Garry, and being that catalyst for change and everything. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about, how that fed into? Was it the bullying experience when you were younger, or were there other things that kind of helped you to feed into that?
Yeah, well, you know something? It's having someone like a critical friend like Tony in your corner, right? One of the big shifts for me was in 2018 when I invested in my first coach. And it was actually that coach that helped. They'd done this timeline exercise. They literally went from day you've been born up until the point where you are. I said, right, when did you feel most alive? And when did you feel most low? And as we went through that exercise, it was very easy then to spot, when I was up there, this was going on for me. When I was down there, that was going on for me. And that gave me a lot of data to be able to use to go, okay, what do I want my life to look like? And what don't I want it to look like? So I started to get more choice, but I needed someone like a Tony in my corner to help me see it.
Well, there you go. Or a Garry, which is what you also do now as well, isn't it? So let's continue this discussion and let's hear what others are saying. Marcy's saying to inspire people to be spiritually, physically and mentally well. I was bullied as a child due to being overweight and dark-skinned. Also, I share my weight loss journey and the death of my two brothers. And I share their health issues. So there's always something in, our makeup, our history. It could be family, it could be an experience that we've gone through, something that has really, really resonated and made an impact. Anything you want to chip in, Garry, before I get some more feedback in?
No, not at all. Thank you. Not at this stage.
Okay, so Paul's just saying a bit of an overload, but you're doing fine, Paul, and it's great to have you back, to see you back here with us. I'm the youngest child and I have YC, youngest child syndrome. Okay, So I'm going to have to ask you about this youngest child syndrome, because I have never heard of it. I've never heard of it, but tell me a little bit more about that. And Melody says that anything is possible if we believe in it, because we give power to what we believe in, and part of my thing was about the fact that anything is possible, because my middle name is Faye. I don't make that public, but it's obviously out there to the world now. And my childhood sweetheart at the time was a person called William. So we had this thing, and we used to say, where there's a will, there's a Faye. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So, but obviously where there's a will, there's a way. So it kind of, that was my mantra, that if it has anything to do with me, I'm going to make it happen. Okay. So, gosh, that was like a little confession time there. I don't normally put that out there.
It's now out there. It's out there.
I know, that's your fault, Garry. You've created the environment for me to make me feel safe, even though this is going out to the wide world, Okay, if we believe in it, we can. And Marcia is, that's from Marcia, don't you? That's from Marcia, don't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, no. That wasn't actually. That was from Paul, saying that was a typical middle child answer. Oh, dearie me. So Ashwarya is saying, as everyone may found me less enough in numerous situations. Initially, I was fearful in my younger days, but my family and experiences helped me to open and realize who I am. And, Naomi's saying she loves it. Ashwarya is saying we need to say I have value and I am worthy. Indeed, that's it. So that kind of brings me to a place, because one of the things that I do with my clients, as you know, Garry, is I really, really love the Ikigai. And when I kind of couple that Ikigai with the purpose Venn diagram, the Ikigai, for those that aren't aware, is Iki meaning alive. It's a Japanese concept, and Gai meaning worth. So what is your worth of being alive is the Ikigai. And there are so many books that you can read on that. It's Ikigai. Go and look it up. Go and get some reading and see if it helps you with your purpose. And one of the things that I do with the Ikigai and the purpose Venn diagrams, I developed an assessment around it. And that is based around those 4 questions to help people. What is it that you love, which is your passion? What does the world need, which is your mission? What are you good at, your vocation? And what can you get paid for, your profession? So, Garry, over to you to open up on that one there.
Do you know something, Tony? I think the thing I love to point towards is I've struggled in the past with knowing what I love, knowing what I'm good at, and then going, actually, I think I could be paid for it, but does the world need it? And it's a really interesting way of trying to reflect and look at, okay, am I really standing in my power, or am I trying to give it away to something? And I find that's my biggest challenge, is remembering, what does the world need? Because what I think it needs is one thing. What it actually needs is something completely else.
Well, that's right. And that's why I love that concept, because you've got those 4 questions that lead to those 4 key areas: passion, mission, vocation, profession. And even if you complete 3 of the sections, and then you get to the one where it's like, well, does the world need it? And it's like, no, you start from scratch again. And I love the one where it's like, well, actually, are you even good at it? Yeah. Because I'm always saying that be good, great at what it is that you're doing. I love singing. It's my passion. Does the world need it? No. Am I good at it? Am I good at it? No. So I can't sell it, So really use those 4 questions, because it will help to guide you. And if you need help with any of that, then Garry and myself are here to help you with that exploration. It is so, so useful. So before I come back to you then, Garry, let's bring some more of these contributions in. The understanding and application of Maslow, and where you and they sit can make any situation a safe space. Absolutely, David. Thank you so much for joining us and for your contributions today. Very, very valuable. They are indeed. And gotta go. Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here. Ashwari is saying that do have a book on Ikigai. Get reading, see what it comes up with, and let us know. And I think this is Naomi saying, I have always been a fearless Tony, but met one of my biggest barriers, taking a leap into business and now passionate in training, mentoring and training. Dispatching knowledge is my absolute passion. Okay, thank you. Okay, got it now. I've always been a fearless lioness.
Love it, love it, love it.
Absolutely. So you got the Ikigai, you got the 4 pieces: passion, mission, vocation, profession. Make sure you're good. Make sure the world needs it in business. And if you get it right, if you get it right in terms of what does the world need, that can take you to your mission in business as well. So do you want to share anything, Garry, before I have my next share?
Yeah, just one quick observation, which I think is really interesting. With this Ikigai as well, what's so helpful is the questions keep forcing you back inside yourself.
That's right.
They don't allow you to get stuck outside on the, but what if I've got a car? Or what if I get a house? Nothing wrong with those things. But I just love the way the questions keep pushing you back inside yourself.
And if it has to be something you love, because if you love it and you're drawn to it. Now, one of the other things is that, I knew that I was going to be doing something where I was helping people. There was one time a few years ago where I sat down and looked at, Tony, what have you been doing all week? Have you met your targets in business? And I thought, well, what have I been doing? I've been advocating for one person who I felt was being discriminated. Another person, I was championing them with a piece of work, and it was always representing and championing or being an ally for other people. And I thought, well, did you meet your targets this week? And I thought, no, I didn't. But you know what, Garry? What I say to people is there's no point in creating a business over here if you're always drawn over here. And when I say over here, for those that are listening and not watching, I'm talking about creating a business on the left when you're always drawn on the right. So whatever you're drawn to, make sure that that is central to your business. It's a part of your business. It's a core part of your business. And then it doesn't feel as if you're working because you're doing it naturally. Doing it naturally. You've got hand signals and arm actions going on in here now. So over to you, Garry, and then we're going to bring in Minku, Madalena, and Marcia again. We've got some more contributions.
To be honest, I'm just really curious. People watching us, Tony, what are they taking away? What would they build? What would they add? What would they challenge? I'm really curious.
Yeah, tell us. Please do tell us what it is that is going on for you here in terms of that. So I knew that central, I was always being drawn to, helping others. It felt like a natural place for me. Yeah. For them to be able to speak up. And I shared already what I shared earlier on about the middle child and the December baby as well. So what we've got Madalena being a change catalyst for me, is also supporting people with a vision to create something that doesn't exist yet, from IT developers to sales managers, open a new market, from writers, poets to professionals who are value driven and want to create their own firm. How exciting being part of a dream coming true. Absolutely. And when you look deeper, you'll see that is, where did that mission come from? Where did that passion come from? Where was that purpose hiding? Marcia, educate, enlighten, and enrich. Doing all the E's today. Thank you so much for that contribution. We have the wonderful Minku. I was always told that just carrying on doing what you love most and it becomes what you start excelling in. And we also got another addition, marry passion, purpose, and profession. See, Garry, you got me all warmed up. My heart's feeling warm. Everything's going here now. And some of these contributions. Why are you laughing?
because you're on fire today, Tony McClellan. That's why I'm laughing.
No, but it's encouraging to hear your story and other pieces of it. One of the other things for me about compassion, why did I fall into this compassion? I didn't really fall into it. It kind of fell into me almost, because when I look back at my journey, whether it be with criminal justice, helping young offenders, young people in the criminal justice system, compassion is what kept me safe. When I was working with in terms of critical incidents in the community, when there was disturbances, etc. Compassion brought resolution and calm. When I've led organizations, compassion has built and excited the teams. It's boosted morale. So for me, it was like a common theme throughout. So it made sense that I identify that, take it and put it in my toolbox as a part of my passion moving forwards. So that's another share there. Garry, I know that you do lots around sustainability, your community. What's driving that? Where is the passion that comes from within?
Yeah, it really does come back. It comes back to my early stage of feeling disconnected to myself, and also being disconnected to my community. And I think what I found, that reconnection to self, others and systems, that I've identified as my purpose, Tony, it really is all about bringing people together. It's about bringing community together. It's bringing people in an organization together, because we've been so conditioned to operate in little silos, individually and collectively. It's like, no, the power is in the collective. It's not in the individualization. And that's really what drives me, is bringing people together. That is the big passion.
I love that. And it also fits in with your tale that you told earlier on about being bullied, because that is about not feeling alone. It's about bringing people together. So, so that's absolutely key. Thank you so much. So let's hear from a few others. Right. Okay. So I think this is Naomi. Been privileged to have had sessions with Naomi. I can't recommend you enough. The model was exceptional. I enjoyed being challenged, aimed at transformation and change. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that share, Naomi, and appreciate you too in the work that you do to be my authentic self and to bring the comfortable to the uncomfortable. Thank you so much, Marty. You're always challenging. And Ashwarya said, I agree, Tony, Ma'am, compassion helps to connect people with human side to live its part. Thank you so much, Ashwarya and Naomi, Minku, Marcia, for those contributions. Garry, anything else you want to share at this moment?
I just love the contributions. I just really feel, for me personally, and I think for many of the comments, it's almost a lot about remembering. It's remembering we are already love worthy, connected, right? But it just gets lost under that mirror of crusty busyness and life and social conditioning. It's already there, and it's almost like we're just trying to rub that mirror clean. That's what's coming up for me today.
Absolutely. And that whole feeling of got to do, when it should be got to be. Do you know what I mean? And because you can quite easily be plodding along in life and just one day rolls into the next. What's the purpose of it? What are you trying to achieve? What brings you that joy and fulfillment, I think, is really, really important. Gosh, getting lots of confessions out of me today. It's all your fault, Garry. But I think one of the drivers around my compassion as well and my purpose is my father. And when I lost my father a few years ago, but when I saw the impact of his compassion and, the way he spoke to people and how he made people feel, he was one of those wise old men that always had a tale to tell that you had to go away and think about. And, when I saw the impact, at his funeral of everybody wanting to speak, and it's like, who are you and who are you and who are you? I actually felt like, well, wow, he done all of this in secret, in private, didn't, was very modest about it. But actually, these people really appreciated him, and the impact was really great. So I felt that there were so many great qualities that I wanted to continue his legacy through compassion. So for me, he's still a part of my journey by continuing in his legacy. So that's how I've shaped it, from the change story that I shared, the DEI and getting people to speak up and I am worthy, to the compassion that was feeding through all of my professional journey, to continuing my father's legacy. That's they're some of the things that have shaped me and how I sit in my purpose. So all sorts of confessions coming out right now.
Beautiful.
All sorts of confessions coming out right now. So, as we're moving to that conclusion, any moment now, do just pop in any last thoughts that you have around what, has this helped to open up your thinking? What will you do differently? Will you still reflect on this? And, because one of my favorite questions, and I realized that it was a favorite question, Garry, was because I always ask it. And that question was, how can I help you? How can I assist you? What can I do to help you to get to the next stage? It was always those questions around, what can I do for you? So that sits within my purpose and helps me to be an enabler. We've got Minku here saying, the day we remember we are human being, not human doing, we will fall into our authentic selves, a restful space. Tony, thank you for sharing your dad with us. No problem. He was worthy of sharing. Thank you, Minku. Really appreciate you. And sometimes we have to dig a little bit deeper and see, where does my character come from? Where does, my purpose come from? Why do I do this? And ask ourselves that question a little bit more. So have we got, we've got Naomi, just love this dialogue. It's embracing, wholesome, and took me back to my childhood. Also, meaning as a parent, I have to think about how I'm raising my children and who they become in future. Thank you so much, Naomi. And we've got Melody here. Any true connection requires compassion and vulnerability. We keep that in mind for our business. We nurture the soul of it, soul to soul. Gosh, we're supposed to be in conversation, Garry, and it's got you reflecting and I'm reflecting. We've both gone quiet.
What can you say?
Okay, well, I don't know, but it kind of felt like a bit of a session, didn't it?
If I may, I'm going to do it publicly. I don't normally do this. I just want to say thank you, Tony, for modeling being in your purpose every single time you go live. You are so consistent, you are so congruent, and you're an awesome human being. So thank you, Tony, for doing what you do.
Oh, thank you, Garry. And I feel the same about you. And this is just such an authentic conversation, and it wouldn't be what it is without you sitting there and helping to create that space, Garry. And I appreciate every time that you've come on with your genuine shares, so authentic as a leader as well. Thank you so much. So, David is sharing, I love this quote. I don't care if you move and stand among the great and mighty. I want to know if you sat with the broken and downtrodden.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm actually starting to tingle. Oh, I'm getting the tinglies. So thank you for sharing that, David. And we've got Madalena. Yes, thank you, Tony. No problem. You are welcome. And we've got Marcy saying, yes, she is. Garry, how would you, I know that I've taken your time. How would you like to share some words of wisdom or some thinking with anyone that's watching now or anyone that is going to watch it back later on?
Very, very simply, one invitation. Change is an inside job. That's it.
Change is an inside job. Absolutely. And you are, sitting in your purpose, living in your purpose, and have been on that journey yourself, haven't you, Garry? And so you are testament to your words as well. So what we've got is Tony Showman and Garry Sir, with all special ones, help to seek purpose in your vision. I absolutely love to be part of the show here. Thank you for many profound consciousness. Love you, Tony, man. And I love you too. Thank you so much for sharing, Ash Warrior, and, Marcia, just giving acknowledgement to Melody as well. And one of the things that I was talking to Garry about really was, just thinking about, if you want to see more of these types of discussions, let me know. You can message me. If you want to be able to not necessarily see these discussions, but be able to be a part of it equally, then let me know, because that is what my consciousness is moving towards, and feeling is the right step in line with my own purpose, so that I can deliver on that even more impactfully. And on that note, I just want to leave you all feeling fulfilled. And I want to say thank you to Marcia, Melody, Anima, David Kuma, Paul, Melody, Ashwarya, Ekwo, Concerteo. Who else? So those are the main people that dropped their comments in. Minku, Madalena, thank you so much. Melody. Those are the ones that dropped the comments, and anyone that was watching privately, secretly in the back, behind the scenes, we appreciate you, and hopefully help you to find your purpose and leave you feeling fulfilled. And on that note, I would just like to say thank you for being in conversation with me, Garry Turner.
Thank you, my friend.
Possibility expander. Absolutely love it. And if any of you feel that this man can help you in finding your purpose, do reach out to him, do give him a follow. Very, very intentional with all his work and everything that he does. So, and on that note, I'll be back here next week. So be intentional about your purpose. Bye for now. Thank you for spending time with me and my guest today on Critical Reflections with Your Critical Friend. Today, you got just a very, very small sprinkling of Tony's fairy dust. But if you'd like more, then do reach out. For speaking or hosting, it's TonyMcClelland.com. For social impact, social justice, or social mobility, check out our work at firstlifegroup.com. I look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, feel encouraged, be inspired, be empowered, and make a difference. Bye for now.